What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Dr. Hamas Tech, and today I just want to talk to you guys about the Honor X9a. I just recently went for their launch event here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, just about a week ago, and I do have some thoughts and opinions on it, and I'm going to just share with you my first impressions on using this phone. So first of all, when I was checking out this phone, the first thing as a reviewer that I want to do check out is whether this phone is an entry level, a mid-range level, or a flagship level device. So yes, just looking at it, I think we got that answer. But I want to go through a few of the key areas that makes this more of a mid-range phone or maybe an entry level phone to some of you guys. So first of all, starting off here, the price here in Malaysia does go for about 14.99 ringgit Malaysia, which is about 350 USD. So at this price point, you would think that this is more of a mid-range phone when you look at the price on this. But of course, there are certain more things and certain more features and also some other things that also does make it more of a mid-range phone. So first of all, looking at the design and build on this material, I got to say, I'm actually really liking this. It is a very slim and slick phone in your hand, so you're not going to feel a lot of bulk to it, which is very surprising because this phone here does pack in a 5100 milliamps of battery. And yes, normally this kind of size is reserved for maybe more flagship phones, more of the higher end mid-range phones, and normally more apparently is that the phone would definitely be heavier and chunkier when it comes to this, but surprisingly, I don't know how Honor did this, and it feels very lightweight in hand. It feels very easy to hold. It doesn't feel very thick, and it feels very nice and slick, which of course is something I really do like. And of course, if you want to talk about other things, we can talk about that triple camera setup of here. We have a nice triple camera setup on the back and also a nice selfie camera on the front. So if you're going to go on and talk about the triple cameras on the back, we do have a main pixel here, 64 megapixel, a 5 megapixel ultra wide, and a 2 megapixel macro shooter, and you can record up to 1080p at 30 fps. And I did take some shots on the rear camera here, and I really did like what I was getting. It does give you nice good colors, nice sharpness, and I don't think nowadays it's going to complain too much when it comes to this kind of mid-range camera setup. And of course, in terms of selfie camera here, we have a 16 megapixel f2.5, and it can shoot up to 1080p at 30 fps. And to be honest, when I was checking out some selfie shots over here, it is a little bit soft. I mean, I saw some photos that I took about it. You can get all my facial hair there. You can't really get that, but you know, it is what it is. It still gives you a nice hardware to match it. And so yeah, these are some things that make this more of a mid-range phones when you talk about these other things. And of course, you want to talk about the display on this. I mean, it does have a nice curved display, which again is usually reserved for more flagship phones. Even for those high-end mid-range phones or the flagship phones, they do give you a flat screen. But surprisingly over here with the X9a, they do give you a curved display, which is something I really was very intrigued about. I mean, there is some bezels on the sides and on the top, but overall, I do like that premium feel that you're going to get with this. And of course, with their software, they did kind of tell you that they're going to have to prevent it and, you know, tweak it a little bit so to prevent any accidental touches from the sides, which of course is definitely something that a lot of people would know about when you're using curved display phones. And to be honest, I would say that the curved display isn't very aggressive when it comes to this. You're not going to get a lot of you know, that kind of feeling when you're going on to the side there, which is something I really do like. It is very subtle and of course really nice to hold. So again, props out to Honor for doing that really nicely. And of course, if you want to talk about other stuff that makes this a mid-range phones, on the front over here, they do boast that their front glass display is a very strong glass material. It is reinforced, so they have done multiple drop tests, marble tests, rolling tests, and all these other tests to test out the toughness of the screen. And it does show some promises over here. It does give you very sturdy glass material. And surprisingly over here, when it comes to the display, again, back to the display, what I like about this is that they do give you a nice OLED panel with about 800 nits of brightness. And one thing that I do like about this is that they do introduce this PWM dimming feature, which again is usually reserved for more of the high-end phones. So again, all in all, if you look at all these kind of things in terms of the features, it does give you a more better feel of how this phone actually performs, how it actually is going to sell in terms of this mid-range market. And looking at the display, I got to say that yes, the colors do look really nice, nice sharp colors, nice deep blacks. I wouldn't say again it's the best OLED panel, but again, looking at the price point on this, I don't think you're gonna complain much about it. And again, going back to the size of this phone, 5100 mAh battery, and of course you can charge this up with your 40 watts of supercharge, the Honor Supercharge. So yes, you don't have to worry about it. They do boast that you're going to get about 2 days of battery life, which is of course really, really interesting. I do hope to get this into my hands to really test it out if I'm going to get that all in. And okay, and of course again, I'm jumping all around, but you want to talk about the display here. Again, they do give you 120 hertz, they do give you the 300 hertz touch sampling rate. So yes, it's a really good in terms of the specs that you're going to get with this phone, and which is something really, really cool. And of course, we're going to talk about certain things here which does make it more, and certain cutbacks here that which make you kind of think whether this phone is more of a mid-range phone or more of like an entry-level phone. Because if you look at the spec sheet on this, the first thing that I always do look is the processor on this. So the processor on this does come with a Snapdragon 695. So what does that mean? Yes, it's more reserved for the entry-level phones, something you're going to find maybe 1200 ringgit and below, which is about maybe 250 USD, around that price range, because this is normally the mid-range the entry-level chipset, so that's what you're gonna get. But this is of course the highest level entry-level chipset, so it is definitely better than your other phones that you are going to get. And of course, with my limited time of usage, I gotta say that it performs really nice. You do get your nice smoothness all around, not much stutters, and of course I did open up multiple apps on this, and yes, I didn't really notice a lot of stutter. The software on this again is really, really cool. I do like the Honor software, which is really nice and very nice. I always like Huawei's software, so this one here is very intuitive. You have your navigation dock, you have a lot of bubble features. There's a lot of things that you can do with this phone, which is really useful, and I also really do like this, which is on top of Android 13. So yes, if you look at the chipset on this, again, I did open up like the camera app for about 5 minutes or so, and it didn't really heat up, so which of course is a really good thing, and I think this is how they're gonna keep the battery working longer. So these are just my thoughts and my opinion on this phone. I think it's a really solid phone if you guys are into the Huawei and Honor ecosystem, which of course does have a wide system. They have their earphones, they have all these things. I think this is a really good phone to get if you want to get into that system. Of course, this is just my thoughts and my opinions. Do leave yours in the comment section down below. This is Dr. Ham's Tech, and I'll see you guys in the next one.